affect my this thing. The noise is much. Hi guys, good evening, everyone. You're welcome to today's live stream. Okay, so let me confirm if we are live now. Confirm if we are live. Can you hear me? Okay, so we are live now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. So I just wanted to come on live and give you guys the update that's been happening in the pageant world. Yes, I've been MIA. I think the last time I did the live stream was on Sunday last week or so. Yeah, that was last week Sunday. So I'm trying to be consistent on my channel, guys. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm doing this period. So I want to try as much as possible to be uploading long form videos, not only live streams. Because why I do live streams is most times it's easier for me to just come on, schedule live streams, come on live and this with you guys, okay? But I think I want to start creating long form videos. Yeah. Yeah, I'm back. Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me now? Yeah, guys, so we are back. We're back, we're back, we're back. I hope you can see me clearly. Yeah, so thank you for staying put, okay? All right, so that was how, I was scrolling around social media today and I saw that, saw the breaking news. Yeah, first of all, let me start with Lucille. You guys know Lucille. Lucille was a former Miss World Nigeria candidate. and she has vied under the Silverbird franchise 5 times. If you have been following my channel, you know that I talked about her. I've uploaded a video about Lucille. Okay, and during this past Miss World Nigeria, she didn't make it to the. In fact, she didn't place at all. Okay, and that was one of the reasons why I came up with that narrative that when you apply for a pageant once, twice, thrice, and you don't get a placement, it shows that the organization don't want you. So you have to look for other pageants that actually want you, or that actually resonates with your personality. Okay. It was so obvious that Silverbird did not want her. Even when she put in effort this year, she changed her styling. She spent more money on her, on her performance, on her styling, her performance, and also was very good. And she did a lot of social media engagement this year, all to no avail. And it was so sad that she didn't even make a placement uh, after that performance, after putting a lot of effort. She didn't make any. She didn't place. Okay, so that was one of the reasons why I said most times when you're going for a pageant and you're not given the recognition that you deserve, you have to shift. You have to move. Move to other pageants. And seeing this. Seeing the fact that Lucille has applied for Miss World Ghana, I was even shocked because I didn't know she had a dual citizenship. If I had known that she had a dual citizenship, I would have advised her to go for Miss Ghana long before now, because we all knew that Silverbird did not want to they don't want her, even after um, last year's issues that she had. In fact, she came in as second choice. I already knew that Silverbird did not want her. Okay, so when she came back this year, I was even shocked. I was like, why did she come back if she knew Silverbird did not want her after spending the whole money and all that? So now that I now recently found out that she has a Ghanaian citizenship and she has also applied for Miss World Ghana, I was like, that's what you'd have done a long time ago. Left to me, if I were to advise her, if I had known, I would have told her to go for Miss Ghana long before now, instead of wasting her time with Silverbird. Because can you imagine you're spending lots of money, you're spending all you have, on a pageant that don't want you. Almost not easy. Now, coming back to her application to Miss World Ghana, I'm kind of like a bit on the fence on this particular issue because there's no offense. I wish her well. I'm one person that actually supported Lucille all throughout her journey. I have, been that support system to her. But at the same time, when I see something that I feel I don't something I need to talk about, I don't hesitate. I don't hesitate. I don't sugarcoat. That's one thing about me. I don't sugarcoat. And when I saw this application, I was really, really happy that she took the bold step. But at the same time, I'm like, is this the best time for her to go for this pageant? Was this the perfect timing for her? But at the same time, for me personally, I would have said, let her just take a break because she just finished for Miss World Nigeria. Let her just take a break. Go, spend some time in Ghana, get to know the terrain of Ghana. Associate yourself with the grassroots, with the community that you're going to represent in Ghana. If she has, I don't know her status because I heard she was born in Ghana. So I don't know if she has maternal parents or maternal grandparents or paternal grandparents that are Ghanaian, or I don't know. I don't know the history behind her citizenship, but I think she should just integrate herself into the Ghanaian community, get to know the community she's representing, get to know more about the culture, get to know about the traditions of Ghana, get to know more about Ghana before she even decides to participate in the pageant. That was my own thoughts, okay? But at the same time, some persons were telling me, oh, she had already done that. I said, well, I didn't know that she had done that. If at all, left for me, I would say, take your time, prepare enough. Take your time and prepare because you just finished from another pageant where you spent money, time, and effort. Your mental health, everything is you're still recovering from that pageant. So you need to take your time to understand this new country you want to represent, or you're going into, because between Nigeria and Ghana, they both have, they have similar cultural similarities in culture, but there are some there are some differences as well. So I think she should just take out this time, get to know her community in Ghana before she even proceeds to apply. That's just it. If I had known she was even a citizen of Ghana, I would have advised her not to even come for this year's Miss World Nigeria. That's just the truth. Because, my dear, you spent money this year. If I'm not mistaken, she spent millions of naira this year competing for Miss World Nigeria. That's just the truth. She spent millions of naira. That money would have been, used to prepare for Miss World Ghana. Do you understand? Should have used that money to prepare for this, for her pageant going to Ghana, doing all these whole things. That is just my own take. Guys, there's no power, but I have my backup. I have my backup. No time. All right, so I am back. Okay, so like I was saying, she should use that time to, look at other options. There are so many other pageants here in Nigeria that I would have advised her to go for, but since she wants Miss World, and it shows that she really wants Miss World, like she's bent on going for Miss World. So now that she has a dual citizenship, if I had known, like I said, she wouldn't have come for this year's Miss World Nigeria because it was a waste of money, waste of effort, and all that money that she has put into the pageant. She would have used it for Miss Universe, Miss World Ghana. Do you understand? That's my own take. That was what I think, or that's what I would advise her to do. Because the money that she wasted this year, I won't lie to you, she spent money this year. She really, really tried this year. And for me, I think that another thing again I want to say is that when you're going to different country, you need a fan base. And for me, she does not really have that much fan base in Ghana, you know, she doesn't have that much fan base in Ghana. So she has more fan base in Nigeria than Ghana. So I think she needs more time to really integrate herself into the society, before she can now proceed to say, okay, I want to now apply for Miss World Ghana. That is what I would have advised her to do because, of course, pageantry, you need fan base. So you don't expect your fan base in Nigeria to now port to Ghana. Like what Shelly did. Shelly Usman, remember Shelly now that I talked about the fact that Shelly, has a dual citizenship between Nigeria and Zimbabwe. So she was going back and forth, but at the same time, it really actually paid off for her. She's now Miss Grand Zimbabwe. So she representing Zimbabwe in Miss Grand International this year. You understand? So, anyways, that is good news for Shelly. But at the same time, Lucille, they are two different people. That's what's the truth. They are two different people. So you cannot really compare the journey of Shelly to Lucille. But at the same time, I would say that let your fan base be strong in Ghana so that you can be able to, win over their hearts. And I don't know how the system works in Ghana, but if it's by voting and all that, of course, you need your fan base as well in that particular community to support you. That is my own thoughts on Lucille. Good luck to her on her participation at Miss World Ghana. I hope she gets to be selected, and I hope that she goes very far in the competition. I hope that whatever effort that she has put into Nigeria that did not yield result, I pray that it yields result for her in Ghana. Okay, that's my prayer for her. But at the same time, I've already talked about my reservations. I felt like she would have waited and she wouldn't have rushed into applying for Miss World Nigeria immediately, Miss World Ghana immediately. She would have waited for some time, get to know the terrain very well, prepare herself very well, financially and otherwise. That is all my take on Lucille. And yeah, what do you think about it? Comment down below in the comment section. All right, let me know your thoughts on that particular issue. Now let's get on to the next gist. So yeah, that's why I was scrolling around and I saw this particular gist where they said Chidinma was allegedly arrested in Cape Town, South Africa, due to some issues. Okay, so let me read what I saw on the internet, okay, so that it won't look as if it was fabricated. There's a Chidinma additional reportedly facing deportation proceedings in South Africa. And I'm like, why? Why is Chidinma facing deportation issues? I thought, she has cleared her identity issues, during that period that she went back to South Africa. I thought that everything has been cleared, okay? Only for me to see this, and I'm like, what is happening? He said, Miss South Africa finalist and Miss Universe Nigeria title holder Chidinma Additional is reportedly facing deportation proceedings after allegedly being found living in Cape Town without lawful status. Okay, so obviously they're saying that she does not have lawful status to live in Cape Town, South Africa. So they said, according to reports, she appeared in the Cape Town Regional Court on 9th of June, was released on warning, and is expected back in court next month as Home Affairs pursues the matter. The case has reignited debate around citizenship, immigration status, and document verification in South Africa. Like seriously, this matter is very, 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 very sad. Though. Like seriously, when I saw this, I was really shocked because I thought that Chidinma has settled all her immigration issues. I thought that it was a thing of the past. I didn't know that they were still on this case. And with what's going on currently in South Africa, you guys know that the attacks, the xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in South Africa has really increased these past few weeks. A lot of Nigerians have come back from South Africa. They've come back to Nigeria because of all the killings and all that. Let me not use the word. Because of the buying and all that of Nigerians in South Africa. Because of all this, I don't know, it's a political issue that has been going on for quite some time. I remember during the Chidinma saga, we are talking about the immigration status and Nigerian issues. This xenophobic attacks have been going on, have been taking place for a very long time. So this is not the first time that we're having this particular issue. And for Chidinma to also be part of it is really, really sad because obviously I thought, the issue had been resolved. But for it to be reignited, I really, really, really wish her the best. I feel like, she shouldn't be passing through this because, of course, she was born in South Africa, and by a Nigerian mother, a Nigerian father, and a Mozambican mother. So I thought that living all those years in South Africa, she should have perfected her citizenship or her immigration status. But as it is right now, they're saying that she's illegally living in Cape Town, South Africa. And for her to have stayed this long, because I know she moved back last year. So for her to have stayed this long without any issues, I thought the matter had really resolved. For her to even go back to South Africa and be accepted back, I thought they've resolved the issue. I thought that it was, they've squashed those claims, by the Home Office. I didn't know that it was still subsisting, and it's so sad that she has to go through this whole process all again. Because it wasn't easy funny that last time that she had this problem. I really feel for Chidinma at this point. I really feel for Chidinma. I feel like this whole issue should be resolved amicably because I don't think it requires her to be deported. Do you understand? Like now, they're saying now that she's facing deportation proceedings. It's very sad. Like you're deporting her back to Nigeria or what? Hey God. This is so sad though. Like seriously, I really feel so sad at this point when I saw this, and it's very, very sad. So I saw some comments here. Somebody was saying we need to stop this victim mentality. You cannot go to Angola or Botswana without proper documentation. What's so hard about complying with the law there? Also, I have watched the lady that at least say she will never set her foot there. We should leave that country if we do not gonna respect their law. Honestly, yes, there's too much corruption in that country, but now they want to make things right and fortify their borders. What's so hard to understand? Even in our own country, you can't go around breaking the law, yet we have a problem when South Africa does. I don't support how people are going about it with the violence, but understand their concerns. Okay, this one said, but wait, how did she enter South Africa if she ain't South Africa? That's just my own bone of contention because I was like, if she was allowed back to South Africa, it shows that maybe they've sorted out the issue. So what is happening now? Like, why is it repeating itself if they've not really sorted the issue? So another one said, oh, after all she went through there, it's quite intriguing to see she went back to a people who detest her. I hope she endures the outcome. Exactly. I didn't even know why she even went back to South Africa in the first place. I was like, why did she go back to South Africa? When I heard that she had gone back, I thought, oh, probably they sorted the whole issue. After the whole backlash, the whole, hate and all that, I wasn't comfortable with Chidinma going back there because I thought, oh, she wasn't really safe. How safe is she in South Africa where they clearly don't like Nigerians, they clearly don't like foreigners, and they are doing a lot of they are carrying out a lot of attacks on Nigerians. So I was really, really really concerned for Chidinma's safety. I was concerned for the fact that after everything that she went through in South Africa, she went back there again. I was really, really concerned about that. Jesus said, being a Mrs. Nigeria and choosing not to stay there is mind blowing. What's so mad about Nigeria? She had her reasons why she left Nigeria. I guess she wasn't really feeling she wasn't really um it's not I wouldn't say feel at home, because I remember when Chidinma came, a lot of persons really open and welcomed her with open arms. It's not like she didn't feel home at home. I think another thing again is she wanted to go back and meet with her child. She wanted to go back to a life that she already knew, she already used to. She wanted to go back probably to continue her education, because I heard that she was also studying before this whole thing came out. So I thought maybe she just wanted to go back there, finish up her studies, be with her family. She must have missed her son. She went back there to a life that she's used to. Because over here in Nigeria, she's not really used to the life here in Nigeria. Okay, so I think that's why she went back. But at the same time, I thought this whole issue had been resolved. As I said, come home, baby girl. There's love at home. So they deport her now. They will deport her. She will now come back to Nigeria. Now, wow. This is a lie. She's there legally. Exactly. That's why I'm even saying that. Is she not a legal doesn't she have legal status? All this year that Chidinma stayed in South Africa before this whole controversy started, was she not a legal citizen there? All the 21 years or so that she lived there, was she not a legal citizen there? So why is all this backlash coming up now? I'm even shocked. It was a Chidinma go live and start afresh in another country. That's what I'm saying. I said this thing before now that Chidinma should have gone to maybe traveled out of the African continent, go to Europe or Canada or US to go and live. I said it before. I said this thing before that she would have gone to another country outside Africa to go and start her life. This one said, hey, oh, Miss Nigeria. When you break the laws in your other country, you have to face it. Okay, they don't care whether you are common Miss Nigeria or whatever. If you go against the laws of a particular country, they will have to try you for that. This was what was she doing in SA? Because in one of her interviews, she said she would never go back to South Africa. That is the problem. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why she even went back. I don't know why she went back there. I still insist that she wouldn't have gone back there. Divine, how are you? Good evening. What's up with you? That's what I'm saying. That she would have even gone back to South Africa in the first place if she had not really cleared her name. All these things, it's part of having common sense sometimes. Because he said the hatred for South Africa among Nigerians is only on social media. Deep down, they all want SA papers. What's inside SA papers, please? Even if they give me visa now, say free visa to South Africa, I no go. I will not go. I'm telling you guys, like the hatred they have for Nigerians, me say will not go. I no go lie for now. I no go because I'll be scared. Living in a country where they don't like me. I'm not as welcome. I'm not acceptable there. I'm not welcome there. Rather, I wouldn't want to go to a place where I don't feel at home. My presence is like I will feel threatened. I feel I will not be comfortable. I wouldn't want to go to a country like that. That's just the truth. If I get a visa to South Africa today, I will not go. I will not go. I'm sorry. So say, what did she find go South Africa after everything she went through? Now she's happy. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That I didn't expect her. I was thinking maybe she would just go and come back, then relocate to another country entirely. I even said it before in my previous videos. If you guys are following me or following my previous videos I did about this whole Chidinma massacre, I was like, for me personally, she should just go to Europe or go to Canada, go to US, go and start your life afresh. Because all these things boil down to there's already an issue between both countries. So there's a tension between South Africa and Nigeria when it comes to migration, citizenship, and all that. For the fact that she's a Nigerian, they might not really want to, grant her that status. Okay, so it's a lot. It's a lot. You say this one say return young lady. Nigeria is big enough. USA and others are there for your show. I'm reading comments here. I'm just laughing. Reading comments. I'm just laughing. He said she's really upset with South Africa. I don't blame her if she went back because I'm sure she went back to meet her son. Her family back there in South Africa. People that she already knows. She's used to South Africa now, so she went back to her friends and all that. And I don't know if she went back to study because I don't know, but for me personally, she wouldn't have gone back. She would have gone back if she had not sorted out her matters, sorted out immigration status and all that. I don't see any reason why she should have gone there because, with all these things now, according to what I'm hearing now, she risks being deported back to Nigeria. Do you understand? It's very shameful. Deported back to Nigeria. Very, very shameful. I'm so disappointed that she's going to be deported back to Nigeria if found guilty. It's so shameful. Mr. Xavier, good evening. Welcome back to YouTube. So that's my thought. So I'm going to drop the link for anybody that wants to call in and air your opinion on this matter. But at the same time, I'm not really happy with the fact that she went back, and also I'm not really happy with the fact that she's been tried for a crime that she did not commit. Her parents were the one that committed this crime. Let's just be sincere. So why is she not why is she being the one, suffering all that her parents caused? Do you understand? Her parents are the cause of all these issues. She shouldn't be going through all this. I really feel for her though. I feel for her, but I think she would have just, brought back her family back to Nigeria. Bring them back to Nigeria where you have peace of mind. Where you have peace of mind, because currently South Africa is boiling. There's a lot of attacks going on in South Africa. There's a lot of Nigerians that have been attacked by South Africans over the past few weeks. People have been deported back to Nigeria. People have left South Africa. Even Ghanaians, they've left South Africa. So that's just it. Anyway, guys, for those of you that are coming in, I'm just talking about Chidinma's issue that is currently trending. She has been fined by the. She was ungracious and the. Oh my God, that's serious. So my first topic was that Lucille has applied for Miss World Ghana, and before now I didn't know that Lucille had a dual citizenship. And for those of you that are coming in, I just talked about that. That was the first topic I talked about, where I said Lucille applied for Miss World Ghana, and it just came to my knowledge that she has a dual citizenship of Nigeria and Ghana. So I talked about that. I talked about my own take on her application to Miss World Ghana. So if you have any thoughts on that, please comment, drop it in the comment section as well. Let us know your thoughts on Lucille's application. Before we talked about Chidinma's issues with with the South African government. I think this issue is going to linger on for a long time. Like seriously, it's going to linger on for a long time, because I did not expect that they're still on this matter. I thought they've forgotten about this case. I thought they forgotten about this case. So I won't lie. Like seriously, I thought that this case has been dealt with. Let me okay. Oh, oh, sorry guys. Let me see if I can invite guests. Invite guests. Invite guests. Copy. Okay. Let me paste. I'm coming. I'm coming. Oh, let me read. I will read your comments, guys. I'll read your comments. I'm coming. I'll read your comments. I'm coming. All right. So let me read your comments. Divine said, "What did she dey do for? What did she dey find go South Africa after everything she went through? Now she sabi. Good evening. Okay. What did she dey go find for? Okay. Greetings, everyone. From Mr. Xavier said she was ungracious to the Nigerian and the organization of Silverbird. Exactly. That's what I said. I remember I said it in my Divine act to stage. Divine is here. Divine is here. Okay. Divine is here.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you doing? It's been a while. Oh.
I'm fine. Oh, sorry. Are you? I didn't even know you were a guy and lady. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm a guy. You, it's just my voice. I'm having kata.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. First time on my channel. First time you're coming live.
yeah.
You're
It's
welcome.
been. I think there was a time I wanted to join. I was finding it so hard to join, but thank God it worked today.
Okay, that's good. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Ah,
So what will
concerning
you say?
this Chidinma,
What's your take on this issue with Chidinma?
to me, I just feel like, she shouldn't have even gone there because I feel since she's not welcome back there and everything she went through during that Miss Universe period and all those things, she should have just at least maybe as she has settled down a bit in Nigeria, like bring her son over to Nigeria to stay. Knowing fully well, especially during this xenophobia period and all these things, and people have been coming back, you decided to go and you know that you already have issues with these people, they don't like you and all those things. You should have just stayed back. Even if she wanted to go, should have waited for everything to die down for the period being. But going this time around, definitely they will lynch on it to hold you back. And now, if they deport you, it will soil her visa going abroad. A whole first runner up for Miss Universe. It's really sad, to be sincere. It's really sad.
Exactly. Because according to what I heard, that they are currently the proceedings for deportation is currently in court. You know, and she has appeared twice. So it's very sad that she allowed herself to go through this same process again after what happened the last time. It's so
Yeah, it's
sad. I
really
was
bad because yeah, it's so sad. I know, yes, maybe because then she was doing law and she wanted to actually go back to continue, but there are certain things you just have to just sacrifice and move on. Like going back
yes,
then and look at all these things that are happening, and should have just brought back her son back to Nigeria than going back there. And maybe later on her parents can come back. Because majority of Nigerians are already coming back because the killing is just
Yeah,
too
a lot
much.
of them. A lot of them are coming back. A lot of them are coming back. And I don't know why she's just been the one, at the center of all this when her parents are the cause of this whole problem. What about the mom? What about the dad? What are they doing about this? It's so
Like,
sad
I don't
that.
know. Yeah, it's so sad because okay, let's assume that maybe is happening that way. The mom is from Zimbabwe, right? I don't know. They should have at least Zimbabwe is close to South Africa. At least they move over to Zimbabwe. But I don't know because this scene between they are not even talking about the parents. She's just at the center of the whole thing, and she was born there, so definitely she has dual citizenship of being a South African and even a Zimbabwean
Exactly.
self. So me, I don't even understand what is going on. Why the hate? What did she do to
It's
them?
Mozambique. It's Mozambique, not Zimbabwe.
Yeah. Mozambique. Like I don't know what she did to them. Oh, like the thing don't tire me. It's as if there's something they have against her.
I feel like they did not properly document her birth. That was one of the reasons why there's some problems. Because if that birth was properly documented, they say they use fake ID. If they had gone through the right process, I don't think she would be having this problem. With her identity. That was the main cause of the problem. And then her mom, that was the issue, that they said she stole an identity of a South African to another. So, this whole thing. But to me, based on Nigerian law, I'm speaking from based on the Nigerian law. I don't know about South African law, but if you are born in Nigeria, you can apply for citizenship, even if you are not a Nigerian. Maybe your parents are not Nigerians, but you are born in Nigeria. You can apply for citizenship by birth. So I don't know if that same thing applies in South Africa, but for her to have stayed that long, 21 years of her life in South Africa before this whole thing came out, at least she should have a stay, a legal stay, or what they call it. Is it legal stay? They call it, I mean, legal, or I don't know this immigration word I want to use for it. But she should have had a stay, to remain in South Africa legally. Because now they are saying that she is an illegal, her stay in Cape Town is illegal. That's why they charged her to court. That's what they are saying. Anyways, it
Like
is well. Mr. Zika, please come back. Oh,
it's
I wanted
well.
you to say something. Yeah, he has left. He
Yeah.
just came on stage now. I wanted him to say something uh, before he just left. He wanted to come and say something. Anyway, please
So
click on the link
if she have
again.
not solved the whole of these issues on ground, why is she going back? That's what I'm just confused about. Because if all these things have been solved and everything has gone, because not then she was also going to court, the mom was going to court and all those things. So I was thinking that
Mhm.
maybe everything has been solved. That's why she went back. But if all these things are still going on, they've not clarified the whole issue, then you are shooting yourself in the leg going back. And this one is more messy this time around. I just wish her all the best.
Exactly. I wish her the best of luck, though, because for her to remain in a country where you don't have a lawful status to remain, to stay there, back there, and you still went back, you still stayed that long, because of course she has been there since last year, and for her not to have sorted this thing out, it still keeps lingering. It's a dent on her. It's going to put a dent on her reputation, which is very bad, for her and for the status that she has already attained, being a first runner-up of Miss Universe, and she has really gone far, for her to go through all this whole disgrace. It's a disgrace. If she's actually deported back to Nigeria, it's a disgrace. Oh. It's a huge disgrace.
Oh, thanks.
Because what I'm seeing here is if she's found guilty, she'll be deported back to Nigeria, which is very sad. Which is very sad. Anyways, let's see how it unfolds because the news just came out today. So probably we are going to get more information. And I hope she can even come out and address all these issues. Because even the last time that this whole thing happened. She didn't come out to address anything. She just kept quiet, you know. She didn't come out to address anything, and I want her to come out and address it. Okay, Mr. Xavier, I've added you to stage. You're welcome. The floor is yours.
Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. The other individuals, I think you went off a little, so everybody kind of went off, and I tried to come back. Good evening, everybody on the wall. It's been a while. We had such wonderful conversation. Abby, Lady Abby, I'm glad to see you again. I hope you and your family are well. Your show have
We
started
are
a
doing
long
great.
while, so I was just like scrolling my phone and I said, "Oh, I just saw the headlines. I checked your plans yesterday. I didn't know that you were going to have live on you, not Instagram for now.
Oh,
Listen,
yes, yes.
this is my take. This is my opinion on what's
Okay.
going on with these two ladies. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. We are here.
Can you hear
We
me?
are here.
Okay.
We
I
can
think your
hear you,
network
clear,
is very,
clearly.
very bad. Okay.
We can hear you clearly.
Okay. So this is my opinion on these two ladies. One, for Chidinma, what had happened, it's because when she became Miss Universe Nigeria, there are things as adults that people don't say or talk about, but there was a big omission that Chidinma made when she was Miss Universe Nigeria or Miss Universe Africa on Oceania.
Okay. Go on.
So the problem was that she never addressed the issue of her child. She never addressed the issue of her husband. She also didn't, publicly
I think we lost Mr. Xavier there. Is it network or something? Because we can't hear you. We lost Mr. Xavier. Please, can you come back on the show? We can't hear him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That he has gone off. I think it's his network because where I am, the network is quite clear, so I can hear myself. I think it's from his own end. I think the issue is from his own end. You can't hear him. Maybe he will call back. So let me just address some of the comments here while he's away. Maybe he will come back because I think maybe there's a network glitch somewhere. Said she was ungrateful to the Nigerian and the organization of Silverbird. Of course, I said it before that she was ungrateful to them, with the way they acted, and he wasn't, she wasn't, she didn't come back to crown her successor. She was ungrateful, during the whole Miss Universe Nigeria pageant last year. She wasn't even around. She wasn't present to formally hand over the crown. She was ungrateful. No matter what they did to her, they gave her the platform on which she went on to represent Nigeria in Miss Universe, and she got world recognition. Only for her to come back and decided to cut ties with Silverbird. I never supported Chidinma on that. I was really, really against her not being grateful to the Miss Universe, to the Silverbird organization. I was really, really against that time, as at that time. So now Um, he said she was on. Okay, there are lots of local pageants she would have prepared for herself for next year or this year. Okay, Lucille. Yeah, that's for Lucille. I don't know. She should have gone for other pageants. Okay, let me add him to stage. He's back. Oh, Mr. Xavier, welcome back. We're not hearing you
Hello.
before. Welcome back. We can hear you now.
Your network keeps going. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, you are clear.
Okay, so I really don't want to dwell much on Chidinma's issue, really, because in life there are more to things that meets the eye. It's not everything that one knows or one would experience in life you want to put out there in the public. Yes, the way she went about it when she was in Nigeria, or when she was invited and was given a crown in Nigeria, because she didn't actually win that crown. They gave her that crown on a platter of diamond. And when you give people stuff freely, most people don't appreciate it. So because she didn't have any much of a hassles getting the crown, and she getting a sponsor, a full backing from Silverbird, and going for Miss Universe and becoming a first runner up Miss Universe, she had everything easy as compared to the other girls who should have. So she didn't actually appreciate it that much. And that was what led her to going back to where she was. She felt, oh, I came here, they needed me, and all that, and I've done what I needed to do for them, so I'm off. But then nobody's in the shoes to judge her, because we truly don't know what the true story is. She really never came to address it. She never even talked about her husband. They've asked her several times when she came. The last name, Adeshina, was that your father's name? Because that sounded more like a Yoruba name, not a South African name.
Exactly.
But she's not talking about it. Adeshina is either a Yoruba name or a name from Niger. They are the ones that answer like Yorubas, or Badagry, but she never addressed it. So Chidinma's issue is what people should not even talk about. The crown is one thing, her personal life and personal issue is another thing. Now, for Lucille, I don't know what's going on with Miss World Ghana, but the only thing I wish Lucille is well. I wish her well. I wish the world does not see how desperate she's become to be on a Miss World stage. And I think that is what is going to be told. With all due respect to Silverbird Golden Girls, to Ben Bruce and Goy's Golden Girls, the Miss Ghana crown had always been stronger than the Miss Nigeria, the most beautiful girl in Nigeria crown. They always send girls that are very beautiful, girls that are very intelligent and very grounded. This is where Lucille is going to have an issue. I don't wish her those problems, but she's going to have a problem. You know why? Her beauty with a purpose over the years has been anchored on Nigerian soil. Her beauty with a purpose has not transcended from Nigeria to Ghana or across Africa. The funding is not there, obviously seeing that. So there is no way as a Miss World organization they will be watching to know that her beauty with a purpose is not anchored on the Ghanaian soil. Except the Miss World Ghana organizations sent her an invitation and appointed her just the way they appointed Shelley now somewhere to be Miss Ground, whatever. That is a totally different scenario. But if she's competing the way every other girl is going to compete from the Ghanaian soil, she's not going to win. Because one, the Ghanaian organization would also see the history. Why would the organization she has vied for 5 years in a row in her own country not crown her? Why should we
Yes.
crown a reject? I'm not trying to I don't want to go into the history of Lucille and I. She's my girl, but here we are talking sincere pageant so that anyone listening,
Yes.
anyone on the platform listening will really know how it works. If she is not invited and appointed There is no way she's going to win it. That's the same issue Chidinma is having now. That's the same thing, Chidinma is having now. Now, okay, this is your pure blood. What tribe is she in from Ghana? Is she Ashanti? Is she Kumasi? Is she whatever? What culture does she? It's one thing for you to become the citizen of somewhere. It's another thing for you to be embedded in their culture. One thing,
Exactly.
it's being embedded in that culture automatically also does not give you a leeway to represent a certain client, because clients come with blood. It comes with bloodlines. It comes with your DNA. It comes with whatever. So you could be a citizen of a country, but you cannot say that you can represent a certain group of individuals or a client, because you're not from that client. So it becomes very, very difficult and controversial for them to crown you on a national basis. She should have looked into all this. I personally have spoken to her. I know she's going to listen to this program until I decided to block her off, because she wasn't listening. There are pageants built for her kind of a person. Lucille is a very, very articulated individual. She is a very nice and humble and kind individual, exposed in her own way. But there are certain statistics and prototypes for different beauty queens and different beauty pageants. Lucille's statistics and looks and personality transcends not for Miss Universe or Miss World that she's vying for. She fits into a more charitable. I know Miss World is very charitable with a beauty with a purpose, but she fits into pageants like Miss ECOWAS, for example, Miss All Nations, Miss Commonwealth, Miss United Nations. Those pageants are purely where if you win it, you automatically become ambassador of goodwill. That's where her intellect and her voice is needed most. And I told her, try, and all these pageants, even after this last Miss World pageant, I sent her some links, people to know that. So like there are no people across the world or across Nigeria, across overseas that are willing to help Lucille. It's just that Lucille is not listening. She's not listening. An individual should be able to know what her body type is, her shape is, her strengths and her weaknesses is, and then you'll be able to align yourself with the pageant that aligns with your project, with your intellect, with your dreams and aspirations. You cannot try on a platform for 5 years, the same platform for 5 years. If you take a look at the girls they crown on an international basis, the least height you're going to get now is 5'11", 6. All these girls are 6 something tall, 6'1" tall. They might not look it on television, but they are. That's why even during the MBGA in 2022, that she and the likes of Uzoeli and the other girls were actually defeating. I was rooting for them to win. Adayeme had to win because she had the height advantage. And she has that, body stature, the stature square advantage over them. Ifeoma is 5'10", 5'11", she's tall enough, but she's on the slimmer side. Ada was, more projected on the stage. And that was why she won that pageant. In as much as Lucille had brought intellect and dexterity, intellect and her talents on stage, there are other factors that they consider before crowning a queen. So I was expecting that after the last Miss World, I wrote to her. I said, I'm expecting, even on public wall, not privately, I said, I'm expecting you to use this talent and vie for other pageants like Miss United Nations, they need a strong voice like yours. Miss Commonwealth, they need a strong voice like yours. Other pageants that are springing up, that are coming up. Since you had wanted for an international pageant, Miss Charm, try, Montana, you've competed with Montana. So if you put in your form, and Montana is the current owner of Miss Charm. Even Miss Earth needs a strong voice. They don't go for physical beauty. But Miss World, in as much as Miss World it focuses on beauty with a purpose and all that, they are also very particular about the kind of looks. Why did they have to crown this girl from Thailand? Because the Miss World organization felt that that girl should have won Miss Universe instead of Victoria or even Chidinma. So they felt, okay, we're going to crown her. Apart from the political reasons, allegedly, why Agbani became Miss World, Agbani put up a beautiful performance in the Miss Universe pageant some months prior to Miss World. So they saw her performance. Miss World organization saw her performance at the Miss Universe organization. They listened to what Naomi Campbell had to say, that if she was going to go for another pageant, she would donate all the dresses, that if she knew this girl was coming for Miss Universe, Naomi Campbell has said, I would have donated all the dresses she was going to use. She was referring to Agbani. So it showed up instead of Anne Swiner. Anne Swiner was Agbani's runner-up. Her name is Anne Swiner. If you go check MBGN, if they say have the name, you have Agbani. So when Agbani was Miss World, they took her out and replaced her with her runner-up. Her name is Anne Swiner. Yes. She's equally as pretty as Agbani, if not prettier. Anne Swiner. So Anne Swiner was preparing, would have gone for Miss World after when Agbani had gone for Miss Universe. But because of all the stuff that surrounded Agbani's outing and the Miss Universe pageant, Silverbird was smart enough to send Agbani for Miss World shortly after, instead of Anne Swiner. And they said, oh, Anne can stay back. And these girls, Agbani is like 6'2" or 6'1" tall, 6'2". These girls are tall. Even at then, they are tall. Lucille is 5'8" tall. It's not that she's not tall, but what does she think that the Ghanaians are going to think? We don't know the basis surrounding organization. It's very, very strong. There are times they don't send girls from Miss World or Miss Universe. If they don't have the money, they rather will not hold a pageant. They barely don't appoint. They will not hold a pageant. But if they will hold a pageant, they will always crown the best. I wish her well with the crossover. She knows that I do sincerely wish her well, but I just thought that it would have been a better choice for her to have gone for, take a break for these few months, sort the dressing, sort the clothes. She really doesn't really need to buy new pageant stuff. Maybe just the final gowns, because she's gone for a lot of pageants. So she has a lot of good things in her wardrobe that I believe that she can still use them for other pageants, camping. All she needed to is just to prepare herself for the traditional costume and just a new gown for finals and preliminaries. For any other pageant, like Miss United Nations, Miss ECOWAS, Miss Nations International, women of Miss Summer, World. If she had want to go for international, not going to Ghana, but I wish her well. Let's see how it plays. As for Chidinma, it's good to be kind to people. If people are nice to you, you be kind to them. If people are nice to them, she didn't engage the press when she was in Nigeria. She didn't engage the press. Every other thing people did for her, maybe the likes of Davido, giving her some huge amount of money and cash, hoping that she was going to get herself a house and settle down. Every other thing she did was just under wrap. And the problem was that the die-hard Chidinma's fan, we're all coming up. If you want to speak the truth, we're all coming up, and then they say, "Oh no, she's this, she's that. People can do this, people can do that, people can do that." If that girl had a good champion and she had good advices, there is no way she would have gone back. With her Miss Caribbean title, all she needed to do was to tell me, the Miss Universe organization, that she wants to go to one of the Caribbean islands to continue her college because she's had issues before, blah, 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 blah. And the Miss Universe organization will help her with a college. And she would have gone to any university of her choice as Miss Caribbean. You know, if she had also wanted to come back and go, and then with her crown, they will easily put her in she's from Enugu, which is the University of Nigeria, Enugu. She would have gone to the Enugu campus of University of Nigeria and remain in Enugu instead of going to Nsukka campus. They would have walked her into Unilag or University of Benin, and all she needed to do was bring her child, bring her husband, and bring her parents, and then she will have rest. But when people are not truthful themselves, that's what you get. When you become too untruthful to yourself, that's what you get. But both Chidinma and Lucille, we wish them well. I know from at least the little I know, I don't know what the arrangement is. If nothing affects Lucille, the Beauty with a Purpose is going to affect her, because her Beauty with a Purpose anchor, which Miss Universe looks into, is anchored on West African Nigerian soil, not on a Ghanaian soil. So they will pick somebody whose Beauty with a Purpose is anchored locally. Not internationally or intercontinentally. So that's my take. Maybe other people can contribute. So that's just it. You know, these pageants, people should be able to learn how to take out their emotions and their sentiments and look at the pragmatic principles behind it. It's the pragmatic
Exactly.
principles behind the pageant, and pragmatically, the principles have changed over time. It was a principle of empowering girls, helping girls. The principles and the field of play will contribute to
Exactly.
whatever franchise that you represent and make money for them.
Exactly.
And they're empowering young girls or giving young girls a voice. Now they want people with a voice. They crown people already with a voice, so that you can use that voice to amplify things. And that's why the likes of pageant blogger, I forgot his name now, pageant bloggers and all that is saying that they have to start calling out these organizations, and you know, all the ills going on in the industry, because these girls are being used, not understanding the contracts before they go into it, not knowing what they are supposed to earn before they go into those pageants, what the expectations are, what the expectations are supposed to be. So we don't know what our expectations are, but just the way they say, what goes around comes around. You as a pageant blogger, we as pageant lovers or coaches in the pageant industry, ours is just to watch the drama, how it unfolds, and give our 5 cents about it. We are not in the we don't own the franchise rights. We are also not in the psychology of the girls who are participating in this pageant and what their motives are. We can only tell them, oh, this is what, as analysts or bloggers or coaches, oh, this is what would have been nice if you calculate this spot, like just like this World Cup that they are playing just ended, everything has a technicality about it, and that's where the bloggers
Yeah.
and the coaches come in. In as much as you're vying for this pageant, there are technicalities about it. The pragmatic actions and all that is you, your dexterity, your intellect, your beauty with a purpose, your how you align yourself, your dressing, your styling. But there is a there is a technicality about it, that if you don't follow the techniques, you're not winning. If you don't follow the rudiments, the secret things you might think you know, but you don't know, the alignments with the right individuals, the right clothing, saying the right things at the right time, getting the right publicity, going to the right platform they think platforms like yours or like Pageant are there to joke. They think they don't need to, you know? So, um,
Can you hear me?
the last I heard of
Yes,
Lucy,
we
can you
can
hear
hear
me now?
you.
My apologies.
Yes, we can hear you.
Is
We can hear you.
yeah, is that they invited everybody that won a title in Silverbird. They invited them to the studio, the winners, the runners-up, the talent winners, modeling, and she as a talent winner. They spoke with her in the studio, and she spoke well, just like always. She spoke well. The stuffs that I sent to her, I got a reply from somebody. Hopefully, that somebody is her handler or herself. I don't know. The individual has said to me, this platform is a public stuff, but public whatever, like her public group
Yeah, a public group.
to Lucille. And, and they said to me, this is a public group. If there's any information that is supposed to be sent to Lucille, it's supposed to be sent to Lucille directly. I had wanted to ignore it, but I went back to that platform and I wrote on the platform. I said, this information can also serve for other girls and other future aspirants in the beauty pageant. It's not primarily for Lucille. So I left my comment and I left that group and I deleted that group. So I have I have been in Lucille's life for 4 years or over. So 4 years after MBG in 2022, I mean 3 years plus, almost 4 years. So um, all I wish her is well. Would I have wished she went for a different pageant? Yes. Would I have wished she does something totally different apart from wanting to go for Miss World? But that's her dreams and aspiration. Who are we to stop her? We can only air our opinions, but we also understand the terrain and the pragmatics of pageants. That Miss World pageant is the most difficult pageant to win on a national level and on the international level, because it involves a lot of their projects, which is their Beauty with a Purpose project, which is 60% or 40% which is 40% of the entire pageant. And Vietnam had gone very far in terms of everything about pageants, the people that extrain. I've not seen the Nigerian girl yet on her journey so far. There's a program Miss World is holding. I think you should have seen this clip. It's called Her Journey to Vietnam. They do that every day, every 8 p.m. If you tune into it, they pick on every contestant from different countries. They talk about their beauty with a purpose and their projects. So they show the world. That's where I'm afraid for Lucille, because if she goes to compete for Ghana, her beauty with a purpose has not been for Ghana. So her journey so far from the Miss World perspective, it's going to see that drastic difference. And even on the leaderboard, they after the journey so far that everybody's watching the journey, her journey to Vietnam, meaning the Queen's journey to Vietnam, Miss Puerto Rico, Miss everywhere, Miss USA. Um, it's showing everybody the life of this individuals, the lives of this girl. So the Miss World crowning is going to be very, very different. It's not just the girls themselves presenting the beauty with a purpose and they picking who is the best beauty. The best beauty with a purpose with the program of her journey to Vietnam, they're already determining who has the best beauty with a purpose project. They're already determining who might be a better choice in the head-to-head challenge because every day they are picking on the girls. They're going to have like over 130 something girls. So they have started early that every day they broadcast for like three girls, three girls, three girls. They dig into your beauty with a purpose. They show it. They show the modeling jobs you have done. They show all the places they've invited you to. So the Miss World term has even become tougher. It's become tougher than it was in the past with the new stuff they are doing in Vietnam. But we can only wish them well. We can only wish her well in Ghana. I hope they crown her. And I'm not on Instagram now, so I don't also have the information on that. But it has everything to do with everybody. Okay, maybe somebody else can take it from here.
Okay, thank you so much. That was a very lengthy discussion, and the message was passed across clearly. I believe that everybody, all the members of the audience, they've heard your message, and the persons involved also will come across this video and listen because you've passed on the vital information, and I believe that it was yeah, we are on the right path. We are almost, we are also, in fact, we are thinking alike in terms of all you suggested, with regards to Chidinma and with regards to Lucille. Okay, so I also said that before you came on the show, about Lucille's participation at Miss Universe, sorry, Miss World Ghana. All the concerns that you raised are the same concerns that I also raised, and also there were also some things that you also raised too that I'm just coming to know about. And in fact, you are on the right path, and I believe that I wish I will. I wish I will at Miss Universe, Miss World Ghana, and let's see what happens at the end of the day. Thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us this lengthy talk, lengthy discussion, and I really, really appreciate the time. Okay, and I'm sure my audience, they also enjoyed the conversation as well, and they took one or two things, out from the from your statement. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you, and hope to see you some other time on the show because this is an unfolding news. So definitely, we're going to be coming on live. When there's a new development on this matter.
Well, I wish everybody well, and I wish you well. I wish the girls well. I saw some publication on Shelley sometime, was it last week or last 2 weeks? Her studio pictures for her Miss Grand. See, Miss Grand International, she's going for right. So that's it now. Have a great day now, Madam K.
So, for Miss Grant, she's going to be presenting in Zimbabwe, Miss Grant. So let's see how well she's going to put off a show in Thailand. Sorry, in India. This year's Miss Grand International is taking place in India. So obviously Shelly is preparing for India, and she's going to be representing Zimbabwe. So it's a big one for her. I'm really happy that her marathon race finally paid off.
Wow,
Finally
wow,
paid off for her.
that's it. That's that's
And
one
it's
thing
under
about
the
the
tutelage
pageants.
of
The
Coach
girls they
Hope.
keep trying.
It's under the tutelage of
I
Coach
think
Hope.
First of Hope is sponsoring her. Well, they are
Yes,
her representative or something like that. They are her managers or something. I think maybe Coach Maya is the one coaching her. I think.
yes,
I think
I
Coach
think so.
Maya is the one coaching her. Oh, and Coach Maya is also going to India. She's been invited to a pageant in India. I don't know if it's this Miss Grand or something. I don't know, but Coach Maya has a very strong invitation. An invitation to appear in one of the major international pageants in India in
Okay,
November, December. So I don't know which pageant it is. Maybe it's this pageant that Shelley is going for,
Shelly,
or another
Miss
pageant.
Grant.
But I know that. Yeah, but I don't know. When I log back onto Instagram, I'm going to ask her. I know she's going to Ghana. We celebrated. She's going to India for a pageant, Coach Maya. But I don't know
Okay.
which pageant invited her. Maybe the one Miss International. Where's Miss International taking place? Is
In
Japan, right?
November, November, and
But that's in
I think
Japan,
it's going
right?
for Miss International.
Miss International.
Miss International is taking place in November at Japan.
But is it in Japan? Aha, not
Yes, in
India.
Japan.
No, Coach Maya is going to. Yeah, Coach Maya is going to India. She's not going to Japan. She's going to India. But because an international pageant organization invited her to be one of their chairs there. So maybe it's Miss Grand International. I don't know. But we wish these young girls, we wish them well, their dreams and aspirations. But the conclusion of the matter is that before any girl goes into a pageant, they should be able to know what their prototype, their physical body type, their prototype, their alignments based on their charity work and all that. For example, all these crossover girls, like you have done Miss Earth, and you're crossing from Miss Earth to Miss World or Miss Universe. It doesn't align, particularly if you've placed a Miss Earth. It doesn't align. Now, if you have done Miss Universe and Miss World, and then you now want to go for Miss Earth, you can cross over. But after you've done Miss Echo, and then you have done this other pageant, and then you now want to cross over, it's a little bit very difficult because everybody already knows you to be your project to be an environmental project. You are now automatically not going to begin to say that your project is a combination of environmental and humanitarian. It's environmental to humanitarian safety. It's ecological to humanitarian safety. It's not a project. It's not a pet project affecting individuals directly. Like the Beauty with a Purpose, it's primarily a pageant for either women or children or something, cases that relates to human, not cases that relate to the environment or the ecosystem. So you're not going to be Miss Earth and then you cross over, and then you're not going to be Miss Earth or Miss Echo and then you cross over. I know people say, oh, this person should be on my wish list and all that, but the nitty gritty of it, take a look at the background. If you launch yourself as this is my pet project, it's very difficult for you to shake your own foundation to be a Miss Earth And after Miss Earth, your dream is going to be to go for Miss ECOWAS, you can, because it's a related field. It's from environmental or ecological to the world safety. If you want to do Miss Echo and then you want to switch to Miss Earth, you can do it. If you want to switch from Miss Echo and do there's Miss Galaxy, there's Miss Galaxy. You know, it's a lot of pageants. The likes of Lucille should have participated and win. You know, because of the intellect and the depth of work she puts into her project, you know? So you want to change, okay, I don't want to do that. Let me do Echo. Let me do F. Let me do Miss Galaxy. You, you know, the project can be switched, but you cannot come from the environmental to the humanitarian. It doesn't work that way. And that's what all these girls should look into before they go into this pageant. And you pageant bloggers as well, with all due respect to you and all those other pageant bloggers, because you pageant bloggers are easily, you people quickly, if somebody's pretty, you because she's been a model, do it. With all due respect to every one of you, you don't put these girls on your wish list because they are pretty. First of all, read their backgrounds and their orientations, because their orientation is their first belief. That's what they actually express themselves properly in. So if somebody is coming from the perspective of an environmental, you should not automatically put that person on your wish list for Miss Universe or Miss World. You people can have those people on your wish list for Miss Earth or Miss Galaxy. But you people are too quick to wishing all these girls well. In all my wish list for this, my wish list for that. What is their background? And that's why most of these girls are not placing, because the franchise owners, they read and they follow their journey. I'm not going to open up a pageant now and then at the end of the day, because it's somebody else's wish list, or because it's the gusto of that girl and she comes in and her values don't align with my core values or with my core principles, it doesn't matter how pretty she is. It doesn't matter how pretty she is, she's not going to win. It doesn't matter how much she bribed me, she's not going to win. Because if you ask her to speak about things concerning humanity, she will have impediments. But if you ask her to speak about things concerning the environment or the ecosystem, she's going to speak freely, because she's a Miss Earth individual. She's a Miss Echo individual. She's a Miss Galaxy individual. That's how it is. Anyway, I've taken so much of your time. Thanks for this show.
Sylvia.
All right, then.
Thank you for your
suggestions,
your contributions as well. We really appreciate you, and we hope to see you some other time. Thank you so much. And we're taking the points that you've said. We've noted them down, and I pray that the affected parties will also take note of it as well. Thank you so much.
You're welcome now. Bye.
Okay, bye. All right, so there's, in fact, we've had this live stream for like 1 hour, 23 minutes, and my battery is going down. So I'm going to end the live stream here. Thank you so much for joining us today. For all my participants and my commenters, thank you so much. For those of you that are coming in, please watch the video from the beginning of the live stream so you can understand better all that we discussed in this particular live stream. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you all. And yes, closing remarks, I would say that both parties, I wish them well, and I hope and pray that we're going to get positive positive news from them, when next we talk about them again here on my channel. So thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you all, and good night. Good night, everyone, and bye.